This is the topic which we chose today, that the art and science of music therapy. And our expert, he has written the book. It's called as the Sura Sanjeevan, and he called this as a therapy, as a Sura Sanjeevan therapy. And he integrates yoga and Ayurveda principles into this for attaining all the depth and the wonderful therapeutic effects of all these teachings. This is the little bit learning objectives, is that he will be talking about giving us overview of music therapy, why it is an art, why it is also a science. You already heard wonderful beginning with his music, which he composed himself, and his success stories of his experience with music therapy, and also some ideas which we can take home to practice on daily basis in our lives. Now about our guest speaker. So he has a wonderful bio. So I summarized it just for our benefit. So he founded Sura Sanjeevan Music Therapy Trust in 1997. He is a A-grade national sitar player of Akashvani and Doordarshan of India. He is also known music composer, including distinguished program, which is known in Marathi area. It's called as Durga Jali Gauri. Then his music therapy recordings on ailments like arthritis, diabetes, hypertension, asthma, acidity, migraine, and stress relaxation are widely used by doctors. His set of 4 CDs, Garbhankur, on pregnancy, is published by Times Music and it became very popular. He also started his music therapy course in Bhatkhande Music University at Lucknow and at MET Mumbai Educational Trust, which has been in active force since 2012. He also branched out in Pune in India. He also offers currently diploma course in music therapy of 14 months online and offline for doctors and patients and also the hospitals. And now we take it to him for further to share all this wonderful knowledge and wisdom he had collected over long amount of time with all of us. So welcome Shashank ji. Thanks for joining us for this call and look forward to what you have to share.
Thank you, Dr. Sachin, for such a nice introduction. Uh, Now, about music therapy. Let us see the two words, music and therapy. What is music? We look at the music as an art form. And what is an art? Art is something which entertains you. It is said that kala iti ranjayate. That means the art is that which entertains you. And also when we go towards Indian classical music, Indian classical music is formed by ragas. It is known as ragas, but actually rags. There it is also said that rag iti ranjayate. That means rags are those which entertain you. So the basic motive of the any rag is to entertain you. So every rag is a form of art which entertains you. Now what is therapy? Therapy is a treatment. It is totally different than the motive of rag. Rag entertains you and therapy treats you. Everybody likes music. Anybody can hear music for entertainment, for stress relaxation, sometimes for sleeplessness, that is insomnia. But anybody cannot go for the therapy. Who takes the therapy? Uh, when I had a survey of doctors, they all told me that therapy is treatment, and treatment is to be done for a patient. And what is the treatment after all? Means there are certain energies functioning in our body, and those energies are given different types of name in different type of therapies. And if we see in general, there are many types of energies, like electrical energy sending the messages from brain to our uh, body and receiving them back through electrical current. So there is an electrical type of energy working, mechanical energy is working. Then something energy which transforms the things. It is like digestion of food, or you can say digestion of even thoughts. That is a kind of energy. So these types of energies are functioning in our body, and when they are going little high on higher side or lower side, then they are optimum levels. Then some problem starts, and when those levels are higher, then ailments are there, sickness is there, and to get those levels back to their original levels with any kind of remedy, with medicines, that is called therapy. And this is the big difference between entertainment and therapy. And so naturally there is difference between entertaining music and therapeutic music. Uh, we can compare it with some eatables or like that. We eat so many sweets and so many things that we like. It is also sometimes said that what is healthy food, we take that. But that is everything we do when we are in healthy conditions. When there is some kind of problem, some ailment is there, some disorder is there, disease is there, you have to go for medicines. And medicines are always different than what we eat in general. Medicines are specially prepared. For that preparation and for how to prepare those things and what is the theory behind that, people have to learn for 5 6 years to get that degree of doctor. Then one becomes doctor and then he can treat the ailments. Similarly, in music also, generally we are having the music which entertains you. Of course, there are certain music which can harm you, and some musics are also banned in some countries. That is a different thing. But generally, we hear the music which like, and for uh, music is the purpose for reducing its distress and entertaining you. It has that purpose. But medicines are different. So therefore, in music therapy also, you will have different type of therapeutic music. Then how to create those that therapeutic music is definitely going to be a science, which is different than the science of our general music. Nobody can use general music and say that it will cure this disorder, it will do like that. You have to work on that. And as we do in other therapies, we study the properties of different uh, basic matters, ingredients, we say. And then we mix them, we in particular type of ratio and like that. And then we prepare medicines. Similarly, what are the ingredients of music? Those are surs. Surs means notes. Sarigamapadamisa, as I have told you. Of course, there is little difference between the source of Indian classical music and Western music. Western music is having a particular ratio with the previous one further note. But Indian music, all the notes are connected with sa. That is the basic note. Every sur, that is re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, they are having a particular ratio of frequency ratio with sa. This is the first property of a sur. We must study the properties of sur. A sur is connected with different types of sciences. As I just now told you, it is connected to mathematics. It is connected to physics. Uh, every sur is a composite interference. Of course, I cannot explain so many things in a very short lecture, so please excuse me. Uh, so it is connected to physics. Why a particular sur is soothing? You see, there are so many infinite number of frequencies in one octave from the lower sa, low to higher do. But we have chosen only few frequencies and we call them as notes or sur. So why only those particular ratios are selected? That is going with the maths and physics and science, and therefore all the surs are very beautiful to hear. We call them the surs are divine. Surs are connected to uh, biology, they are connected to anatomy, then they are connected to certain sciences like psychiatry, they are connected with sound healing type therapy also, and they are connected with the brain waves and secretion of certain neurotransmitters. They are connected to with Ayurveda, the very old ancient Indian science. And so the souls are connected with so many things. It is not just that you sing the particular rag and you get uh, cured a particular ailment. You have to study all those things and then apply those things, uh, considering diagnosing the different ailments. You'll have to diagnose the things and then you'll have to select these particular fruits and then arrange these things in a particular form that certain uh, type of energy is increased and certain type of energy is decreased. How to do what is the methodology is a therapy, a specific music therapy, and we call that therapy as Sursanjeevan. Uh, I have developed this therapy not only myself, but I'm supported by a team of doctors, and I must say, I must name them. Uh, Late Dr. Himalay Pantavidya, he was MD Allopath. Uh, he helped me. Then Dr. Sanjay Chajed, he is Ayurvedic MD, gold medalist from Jamnagar University. Uh, and he was working with Maharshi Yogi in Germany. And then Dr. Shubhangi Dage, she is a gynec, she helped me in using or experimenting in her maternity home. Then Dr. Shubhangi Parker, she is a psychiatrist. And Dr. Manoj Bhatodekar, he is also a psychiatrist. I'm having help of all the doctors and working them, discussing with them for about 24 years. I have developed this particular type of uh, therapy, that is Sur Sanjeevan. I learned so many things from different experiences. I'll be talking with you with uh, those experiences, how I developed it, and what are the conclusions about music therapy. I'll be telling you. See, in approximately 1997, as I started, um, I went to Indore. Indore is the place where uh, it is my spiritual guru's place. Dr. Param Pujya Nana Maharaj Taranakar is my spiritual guru, and his grandson, Dr. Pradeep Taranekar, one day gave me a particular book of quantum healing, and he told me that something like music therapy is here, and you have played sitar for about 50 years, so you start working on this particular subject. So I thought that it is the commandment of my uh, guru, and I started work on that particular subject. So in that it was written that a rag Hindol. Hindol is a rag in Indian classical music that works on joint pain. Sandhivat, actually, that works on Sandhivat. So he advised me that Sandhivat is a kind of disorder that is troubling to all nearly all people after 40, 50 of years age. So you start working on this particular subject. Okay, then I started. I thought that this is a better subject to start, arthritis. I used to play that particular rag in a small hall, and the people were coming there to hear what I was playing. And actually, it was my Guru's place, mutt you can say, where I stay in Bombay. Uh, and the people were coming to pray him or like that. They were coming with the malas and like that. And then they were hearing me. After my playing, they were saying me that you are playing good and like that. But my aim was not to play good for them. My aim was that whether I'm getting any result on arthritis. However, 15 days, 20 days, I didn't get any result. Then I thought that, okay, whatever I know, Hindu I am playing, but now I should start experimenting on Hindu. So on before that, I'll give you a small example of Hindu. Demonstration of Hindu. It is like there is one. I'll give you a small idea, and you will understand the Hindu. This is the actually Hindu, and I played a song that you will get immediately what is Hindu. So this is Rag Hindu. So I thought that okay, I'm playing like that, how I know, but I'll do some experiments. So first day I stressed a particular note that is. So second day I stressed on this note, and third day I stressed on this note. And however, I got result on the third day. Uh, One person, 50 plus person, he came to me after finishing my playing, and he told me that he did not sleep for last 2 nights because of his arthritis attack, and it was paining. And about arthritis, when the attack comes, you cannot sleep in any position. There is pain, continuous pain in this position, shoulder, neck, and you cannot sleep. Uh, so he told me that I didn't sleep for last 2 nights, and so I came here to hear you. Somebody told me that you are playing on this arthritis, so I came here, and I heard you. And you, when you finished your playing, I suddenly got the result that my pain is gone. And actually, that was my first experience about music therapy, and also it was a lesson to me that you'll have to modify your rags or your playing for getting certain results. That was a small result in my mind. Now, when I sorry, when I use that rag for other types of pain, that is knee pain, I didn't get result. Then after one demonstration in Mumbai Vidyan Parishad, I realized though that okay, though I got a particular result, uh, that is not at all enough. I'll have to work on that. So I thought I'll have to construct a theory first, that why the particular music or why the particular shows, how are acting on a particular disorder, why that particular type of Hindu uh, acted on that arthritis of that person. I should study all those things, otherwise just get a by chance result is not sufficient. That's what I thought at that time. And then uh, I got Dr. Himalapanta Vidya and me, we discussed a lot, but I got one experiment details about music therapy in Times of India article. A team in US, uh, they worked on the Alzheimer disease people. They tried one particular music on them and estimated the levels of 5 types of neurohormones. And they worked on for 28 days, and they found that in these 28 days, the level of melatonin was sufficiently high. It rised. Uh, then level of serotonin and prolactin, that was also went quite high. And then about epinephrine and norepinephrine levels didn't have any influence of that particular music. And thus afterwards they tried different types of music, different elements, and finally they concluded that a particular music can enhance, elevate the levels of particular neurotransmitters, or sometimes it is not having any effect or any influence of on the levels of neurotransmitters. So that was a clue for us. But however, that those types of experiments were not possible for us at that time. This is about I think 20 22 years back. There was no any kind of facilities for doing such experimentation on neurohormones levels in Mumbai, and so we thought that we'll go in some different way. Anyhow, at that time, I got one shlok, that is that from that book, and that shlok is from a Granth or book, you can say, Swaramrut, written by Tumbu. And that is, I'll render that shlok for you. उच्चस्तरो ध्वनि रुक्षो विज्ञेयवा तेजो बुधे गंभीरो घनशीलश्च ज्ञातव्यः पित्तजो ध्वनि स्निग्धस्य सुकुमारस्य मधुरः कफजो ध्वनि त्रयाणां गुणसंयुक्तो विज्ञेय सन्निपात. And this means that high notes and dry notes, those are vak notes. And then from all some other references from some other books, I got similar type of shloks, and which meant that high notes are for vak, middle notes for pitta, and lower notes are for kapha. Then I tried to compare with our octave with these statements, and found a very fantastic result, that we are having Uttarang Pradhan Rag, Purvang Pradhan Rag, and Madhyamang Pradhan Rag. Actually, Madhyamang Pradhan Rag is not said, but that is how we have named that thing. That means the Purvang Pradhan Rag means those ragas we are between the lower sector of sub octave. Madhyamanga Pradhan means the middle sector of octave. And high levels means high levels. Okay? That is, you can say Sarega is the lower, that is lower part. Mapa, near Mapa is the middle part, and Dhanisa is upper part. So we got that conclusion, and afterwards saying, finding which source are used at which time of day. Of course, in Ayurveda, there are, as I told you about energies, they have three functional energies. Functional energies means they have named those energies and working on particular functions. Those are Kapha, Pitta, Vata. And these three functional energies are working in the first part of day, middle part of the day, and last part of the day. And similarly, of first part of night, middle part of night, and last part of the night. So these Kapha, Pitta, Vata, those are working at that particular time. And then we use a particular therapy, a theory that is called as mood elevation theory. Mood elevation theory tells you that the music which elevates your current mood is liked by you at that time. So before going to therapy, we must understand the health music. Actually, our classical music, ragas, hearing at those particular time, this prescribed time, it is a health music. It is based on these principles, but nobody had created those things that had happened automatically. And which should I like at that particular time, which should I don't like at that particular time. And those shoes are omitted or more used at that particular time. So we found that according to those that shlok, Purvanga Pradhan Rag, that is more revolving around Sarego. Those are sung in the Kapha time. Middle time, middle, that is Mo and Po, those are sung in the afternoon time. And in the evening, the high level and dry notes, as they call it. Actually, no sur is dry, but that is how Indian classical music is systematically it got designed. Nobody knows who have constructed this, or nobody is saying that Malcolmus is created by a certain person or like that. Yaman is created. No, nobody is doing this thing. I thought that it was automatically designed in that way, and that was for the health. Of course, if you see that our all these Indian systems like eating and everything, those are designed according to how they support our health. And so the music designed now ragas and ragas with the timings. These are also, they are not actually designed, they got designed according to timing. Vadi, Samvadi, I cannot tell you so many things in detail, but having the same surs, just changing their Vadi, Samvadi, their timings are different. This is because when the Vadi sur goes on higher side, it is connected to Vat, and when it is going to, it is in lower side, having same surs like Bhoop and Deska, they are having different timings. So we can definitely say that Indian classical music and raga music, when sung or heard with particular rules designed in Indian classical music, then it definitely becomes a health music. So I'd like to tell you that those senior citizens who are hearing it, for better life management, you hear the music, Indian classical music, according to their given timing, and you will be definitely benefited because it activates those particular powers which are functioning at those particular timings. So that is very useful. you will find that many musicians, they live long life. And I think that is the reason why the music, raga music is designed for the better management of our health. So this is about health music. Now about therapy. Therapy, as I told you, is always different. Uh, as I told you, that source, when you find that particular source are not used in a particular dosha timing. For that, I'll give you one example, that in the afternoon pitta time and in the night pitta time. It is actually times are divided in this way, that of timing in the morning it's 7 to 11, then 11 to 3 is pitta time, and 3 to 7 is what time, and similar times in the night. But in the pitta time, afternoon and midnight, Komal ray is not used at all. Of course, I am talking about the traditional, we call them pakke pakka like Todi, Multani, then Yaman, Malkauns, Bageshri. I'm talking about these rags, which are pakke rags, built in thoughts. So you will find that particular sources are not used at all, and particular sources are predominantly used in those timings. And so we can get that how to select the source, how to select the source for particular element when you can diagnose. So I told you that diagnosis is very important, and for that you should have the knowledge of any particular type of uh, therapy, medical therapy. You can connect these things with ailments, diseases, and then you can construct the music, and you can modify those ragas, and you can construct new design of how to increase the particular energy levels, how to decrease the particular energy levels with sur. Of course, that is connected with the uh, you can say the integration law or something engineering. I forgot to tell you that I'm an electrical engineer. Uh, I'm a science student, so I've studied these things. Uh, so how to increase the energy of source, how to decrease, that is also a particular type of science. How to do it, you can do it, and hence you can increase the energy of particular type of energy functioning in your body. Thus, you have to diagnose a particular element or disease, and then you will have to find the source, and then you have to construct, you have to modify the ragas, and these modified ragas, we call them as Suravali. Suravali. So we design Suravali for different elements. You have to do it. Otherwise, if you use the ready-made music, like any type of music, you can say symphonies, you can say ragas, or any type of ready-made music, then I think it is not going to work for the diseases or disorders or imbalances in our body. You will have to think, you will have to study. You see, one doctor studies for 5 6 years. So you must study, and then you can do the actual music therapy. That's what I think. Uh, I also use sound therapy, which is popularly used in Western countries, that is perhaps USA and UK and everywhere. Uh, that is the entrainment of brain. How to entrain the brain and take the brain in a particular type of brainwave state. That is a different type of therapy. I call that as sound therapy. And there are four types of brain waves, and then different activities are taking place in different brain waves. In delta, you sleep, and then certain neurohormones are secreted. In theta, certain serotonin and melatonin, these type of neurohormones are secreted, neurotransmitters. Then in alpha, different, it is well known that dopamine is secreted there. And then stress hormones like norepinephrine or cortisol, and those are secreted in beta state. And they have found a beautiful system to take your brain in that particular brain wave and using the property of brain that is known as frequency following response. And when brain gets in that particular brainwave state, certain centers are stimulated and certain activities, certain neurotransmitters are secreted, and you can get much more better results sometimes.
So the question is there that can you list one best raga for each of dosha, kapha, pitta, and vata times?
Oh, as I have told you, they are to be modified. So it will be of no use. And if you see, if you don't modify, that will create also different problem. So I generally don't tell
Name
that
them.
raga because that is to be used in particular fashion only. Otherwise, you see, one rag can, if suppose I'll tell you that this is rag for pitta, if you use in opposite way, then that is going to create problems. So I
It
never tell
will
you.
increase
As
like
I
that.
told you, the ragas are, yes, ragas are for, but not for the curing. You have to use them in a particular fashion, then only it will, well, otherwise it will go in adverse way, definitely. So please don't do that. And don't go with that particular raga is at this pitta time, and so that will work on pitta. No, it is not going to work. It might create problem if you don't use it in a particular fashion. This, you see, this is a medical science. No? You have to go to a doctor. Otherwise, just buying the pills and using it, that creates problems. So,
Okay, now the next question is where can we download good classical composition for these ragas you mentioned?
I didn't mention any rag. Actually, I told you about Hindol, but I'm saying it again that Hindol can work either way. If you you know how to increase the energy, then it will work. If you don't know and you go in other, because you see, I'll explain you one thing. Suppose take a particular sur, go, and if you raise the energy of go, that if you go on higher side, the energy of that particular dosha will be increased. If you go on lower side, then the increase with energy will be decreased. And in Hindol, there is no such rule to increase or decrease the energy. You can go either up way or you can go down way in Hindol. So if you use Hindol as rag, that is not going to help. That might create some problem. If you want to increase the energy, then you must know how to increase the energy and not to decrease the energy of that particular. This is the therapy and this is the science. So there are different rules for therapy than the rules for ragas. So I will definitely tell you that don't go with the ragas because that might go opposite way also if you don't know the perfect use.
And then somebody is requesting that we can take as the last one, that kahin deep jale, kahin dil one more time. You were saying it was very
I,
soothing
I,
inside.
I played it once. No, why don't you want to hear something else? And okay, I'll go for that if you
So
want.
that's how we will end it because we are already
Because
5 hours.
you see, I don't play that song completely because it is not pure Hindol when it
Yeah,
goes in Hantara. And many people say that they try to do music therapy with filmy songs, but filmy songs are not at all pure ragas. And you see, do you do the therapy with impure things? No, never. You must have the pure things with you for the therapy. And so, and even I'm telling you, ragas are not going to do therapy. You have to modify them. And then that's what we are teaching actually in our 1 year course. It's a big course. It's a big theory behind that. And you
right.
must understand that therapy.
And one more question is
Yeah,
that heard of Alzheimer's and stress, any
right.
results on other mental disorders like depression or
Yeah,
anxiety
yeah,
in
so
your
many results. If you contact me, we have so many recorded results. I would like to tell you one thing
right?
that I have I have taught more than 450, 500 students up to now.
Mm,
And about 70, 80 are regular doctors from different branches, and they are supposed to work on patients, and everybody has to do three patients when before getting the certificate. And for diploma course, 10 patients are to be treated. So we are having all documented things with us. Why
right.
that particular Suravali modification of rag is used? What are the things behind that, and what are the results? So we have documentation of so many things, and depression, insomnia, as I have told you, you have told, and all the stress factors, anger, fear, and like that. We have worked on memory loss. We have worked on
Yeah,
schizophrenia
schizophrenia.
also, because nearly 40% in the world, they say that those are schizophrenic patients.
Yeah, one question is from somebody saying, how many people you had treated with music therapy so far?
You see, more than you can say 5, 6,000. Because my CDs, I don't treat actually. Previously, I was conducting workshops and like that. But you see, for the people away from me, I cannot do that, no. So I had my CDs, as I told you, many companies like Sony and then Times Music, they have published my CDs, and through that, many people are getting the results. About I had told you about the Garbhankur, that is the CD set of 4 CDs used for pregnancy for every month from second to 9, and
Mm,
we are having fantastic results on the baby. Their babies are having very good weight, and important thing is about the normal and painless delivery. We always get, when the patient is listening to our 9 months music, we always get this result. And I don't know whether they have come to you or not. Many mothers from India, they have taken my CDs to USA and given to their daughters in their pregnancy time. So many mothers had taken those CDs to
wow.
US.
So everybody is eager. You intrigue a lot of interest about this subject
Yeah,
in
yeah.
everybody's mind. So they want to hear something. And before we go, so that's how we will end the session with your music. But I want to ask you a question. What will be one thing to take away from your insight, all the wisdom you have? One thing to remember about music is therapy.
I will tell you 2 things.
Okay.
First thing is health music. If you are to want to be in a nice, healthy conditions, hear our ragas at their prescribed time.
Right.
That is the first thing, and that is going to keep you healthy. As many musicians are living long lives, You will definitely, I hope, live long life if you do this. And
Right.
second thing is, don't use those ragas. As I have told you to listen at proper. Don't use those ragas as therapy.
Right. Get it customized for your individual needs,
Yeah,
basically.
because as I explained you, the ready-made music or ready-made eatables, we don't treat those eatables for therapy. No, it is to
Yeah.
be designed specially.
I think that's a very good takeaway to see that you take the traditional music as a music for wellness and then you
Yeah, yeah,
customize it for
yeah,
individuals through the proper expertise channel.
yeah. It's
Wonderful.
like that.
Okay, so we have last 2 to 3 minutes to enlighten us with your wonderful charisma. Everybody's waiting. And thank you everyone for being patience with us.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was wonderful. And again, we want to share our heartfelt gratitude to you for joining us all the way from India for this wonderful program. And I'm grateful to all of our participants